A near-fatal crash at the Chattanooga Motor Car Festival last fall raises questions about the course setup and why this barrier went flying into the air. For 4 months, we've been asking those questions. When we couldn't get answers, we turned to public records requests. Tonight, in part 2 of our investigative series, what happened to cause the driver of the car to crash and what we discovered about the barrier that started it all. Pictures show just a snapshot of Jeff Banker's 30-year career on a racetrack.
And I've absolutely loved being an official.
From the edge of the course, he let drivers know about any hazards ahead.
I was basically a safety worker, basically what we call a corner worker.
But Jeff and his attorney say it was a planned part of this course that proved to be the most dangerous hazard for Jeff that October day. Watch as the race car slams into this orange barrier, taking out Jeff and a second corner worker. Starting the day of the accident, we asked race organizers time after time if the barriers were filled with water. For months, no answer. We got our hands on this incident report from the Chattanooga Police, which says mechanical issues caused the 1969 Lola replica to hit the 6-foot barrier. Spec sheets for the Guardian 100 barricade say it's, quote, well fortified when filled with water or sand, but empty, it weighs just 100 pounds. In the police report, confirmation that those barriers were not filled with water.
The barrier went airborne. The barrier was not filled with water.
Jeff remembers nothing about this moment. His memory kicks back in days later in the hospital.
And I looked around and went, where am I and what is going on?
But one person who does remember, the driver behind the wheel that day. His description is part of the Chattanooga Police Department investigative file.
I felt the steering do that, and once it did that, it wouldn't turn back.
Dennis Olthoff says even he was surprised when that barrier flew 30 feet in the air.
I can't believe it moved that barrier.
We spent months reaching out to experts looking for concrete guidance on the safest way to use these barriers around cars going at a high rate of speed, but could only find guidelines for work zones. We tracked the barricade through 4 different companies to locate the manufacturer, ArmorCast. Sales manager Savan Gazorian told us this is an example of their product being improperly used. It's meant to be used on construction sites. Jeff says he lives with the consequences of that decision every day.
It's been extremely painful.
And those pictures he has to remember his 3 decades of racing, they've been replaced with the pictures his attorney is gathering as evidence as he tries to hold someone accountable in court.
Jeff has gone through some of the most extreme injuries you could expect to sustain and still be alive.
So whose job was it to keep this from happening? Derek Hayes, Jeff's attorney, says he's still pinpointing who his upcoming lawsuit will name. And we finally did get a statement from the Chattanooga Motor Car Festival. They say the marker that you see here was hit following an unusual mechanical failure, and it was intended for directional purposes only, and therefore not weighted. They also say out of an abundance of caution, the festival took immediate action following the incident to remove those similar markers. You can see here they replaced them with these large hay bales. You can read the rest of their statement on our website, newschannel9.com. Next week, in part 3 of our investigative series, the changes the city of Chattanooga is making and how they regulate these type of events and why they are the only government agency even looking into what happened.